of the front end push this way?
Yeah, it's going to come up.
Okay.
Let me get this out of here. So, I need that later.
You need what?
So you pull it, it's going to go this way. So we don't need it.
You nod your head, I kick it?
The wheels protesting. Okay, that should be good. Now we're just going to go forward.
Now you're nowhere. You want to be central like that?
It's got to be up there.
You're kind of cockeyed.
It's okay.
Right up to the toolboxes?
Yeah. Hopefully we can pull this off of the die.
Well, we didn't die last time. I don't think we're going to die this time.
Jacks. A couple of jacks there, remember that? If it does fall, it won't fall all the way.
Is that cardboard soaked in gas?
No, it's oil.
Yeah, we don't need that.
We actually do.
No, do we?
Yeah.
What did you do? Rip a fence post out for that?
Just a piece of shit I had laying around.
Nice. Okay. Did you screw those together by any chance?
Nope.
Did you maybe want to?
We can only go so high because of the trunk, the frunk.
You're pretty close to the garage thing.
With the frunk?
I don't like that angle.
Okay, that's what I see there. That's what I needed. There's usually be a spotter there.
I would put some screws into that if I
And
were
we're
you.
almost there anyway. We just. Ow, something. Next damn bit. Okay, that one will do. Okay, now we can let it sit on the jacks.
Jesus. So you want to give that a shake, or make sure it's not going to fall on you? That'll be fine.
Nobody's gonna die. Changing the gear oil. I can get this.
It's kind of bouncy.
Actually, not changing the gear oil. I'm just talking about.
Okay. Nice and shiny. Think you'll get a few more horsepower out of it, or what? This new-
Probably with the extra, it's got better compression and better oil pressure. We might as well use our fancy little pump.
Got the pumpalator.
I got it, you might as well use it, right? So, putting 90 weight in it.
Get a little cold.
And I put new U-joints in it yesterday.
I see that. That's very nice.
Might as well while we're at it, right? Yeah, they actually have those in stock.
Oh, GM stuff, right?
And I tack these so we don't have to deal with those bolts coming out and the nuts, double nuts and all that crap. So I just drilled these out and actually tapped it with for 3/8 bolt.
Oh, to bolt into the flange?
Yep.
Nice.
Lets cold air from this fan into the car if it's too hot inside the car. Most people block them off because it robs. If it's not hooked up and there's a leak in that duct, apparently it will make this valve seat get too hot.
That
And
one in
valve
the
seat will
corner?
drop. And coincidentally, that's the valve seat that actually dropped on that old engine.
Hmm.
Remember where I had a valve seat? It was
Yeah, yeah.
this one right behind this, and that thing wasn't hooked up. So that gets a lack of cooling air going to that.
So you're just basically giving it more cooling to even out distribution of cold
Yeah,
air.
because it bleeds off
Yeah, yeah,
cooling air to go inside the cabin of
And
the
that's
car.
what you blocked
So
off.
blocked it off there,
There?
and made a plate here to block the duct off because we're not using it. 'Cause
Okay.
no AC in the car anyway, so that is actually the AC, well, cool air going into the car.
So what else did you do?
Rebuilt starter and solenoid. Just cleaned everything up. There's a new torque converter pump seal on the back of this gearbox where it attaches to the bell housing. I put a new seal, oil seal in there. New oil seals for my axle shafts. New U-joints. This vacuum hose for the kickdown of the transmission. The old line was just crappy. It looks like the rats have been at it.
This actually looks like it's kind of getting crimped.
Well, I can always put a new piece of hose in there later, but this is the important part because once it's up in the car, this is hard to get at.
Mm-hmm.
The exhaust logs, they had bolts sticking through, like just bolts going through with nuts on them. So they were a real pain in the ass. So I just drilled them out and tapped them for 3/8 bolts. So that's nice and new. The carbs are actually, well, I'm going to say brand new, but this guy on eBay does a really nice job of rebuilding these carbs. And everything's like new. You don't have to do any adjustments. He actually recommends don't adjust anything. Put them on your car, everything's done because you tell them what car they're going on. New fuel lines from the pump back to each carb. I just use copper. It's easy to work with. Everything's been cleaned up, painted up. I mean, it's not show car, but it's going to be a nice driver.
It's definitely
All new
cleaner than the
seals.
last engine. Okay.
All new seals. Anything I could get at, it's been resealed. So new front seal, new rear main seal. Let me see, what else did I do?
What your
Points.
this thing here looks new.
It's just, everything's just been cleaned up and painted. So I just cleaned this up with a wire brush and sandpaper and spent hours cleaning it all up and then painted this with silver. The oil pump housing on the front of this has been cleaned up and painted. All the sheet metal ductwork painted. Cleaned up and painted. The exhaust is actually brand new, but I had that done a while ago from Zorro Muffler in Hamilton.
Zorro Muffler and Centennial Parkway?
Yes.
Send me free shit,
They did a
Zorro.
nice job. All stainless steel and stainless steel mufflers. I didn't want anything loud. I said I wanted them quiet. But even though you say you want quiet for this car, because it's so close to the engine, there's no big long runs of exhaust pipe, it sounds pretty cool. It's pretty throaty.
Yeah, but it's not obnoxious.
It's not obnoxious.
Cool.
And there's a new alternator. We swapped that out from the
Well, you pulled the generator off
the
the
original
old motor.
generator, and this is a alternator conversion. Got the proper mount from a different guy on eBay. Oil pump has been resealed with, there's two little rubber seals behind the oil pump, or the oil cooler, sorry, and that's been all redone. So anything I could get at that would be difficult to get at when the engine's in the car has been redone.
Straight in. Now do you need that guided into a certain spot?
Here, you want to push from here. I'll roll around underneath the car so we don't get Okay. Push straight. It's okay, come forward. It should be about there. Okay. Now, if you can reach that and jack it up. Actually, the one with the black cover on it. I am now hooking up the speedometer cable. I'm trying to think, but nothing's happening. Yeah,
Imagine that, eh?
Speedo cable.
Don't hurt yourself.
It's got to come up. It's got to come up to do that.
You're hitting your bracketry.
There we go. Speedo cable is going. Speedo cable is being a pain in the butt. Speedo cable is threaded in. Hooray!
Huzzah.
First part hooked up.
One thing. Good job.
Now what?
Now?
Okay, I guess the next thing to do would get that pan off so we can hook up the shift cable. I like to be able to see where it actually makes a connection inside rather than just feel for it. And we got a new pan gasket anyway.
Well, the old one didn't leak, did it?
So. Yeah.
It did?
Yeah. I made one because I didn't want to wait the week from Amazon. Okay.
Amazon sounds like you're dropping the ball there.
Okay. If you want to, the other thing that we did that was kind of a mistake when we took this out, we should have taken this bracket out by undoing these two castle nuts and dropping it with the engine. So, but I didn't. I took out these 4 bolts from the back of the transmission, which holds the back of the whole setup. But there's these little shims, and apparently they're alignment shims, which we didn't know. So I don't know if I screwed up the alignment on the car by doing that. There's an even number of them, so I'm just going to put them back in. Even number on either side, and see what happens. Hopefully, if I screwed it up, there's an alignment shop that will know how to align this car. If not, what's the worst can happen?
We do an alignment video.
Yeah, figure out how to do an alignment and do an alignment video.
There you go.
Okay. Okay. So I got to get some stuff. We're going to take this pan off, clean that up, make that connection inside, get these shims in, and we're going to hook the rest of it up. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to put this shifter cable in. I'm going to put another O-ring on it too. I'm just going to grab one. Okay.
So you want me to shift the linkage? Right now it's in neutral. Where do you want me to go?
Just go through the range.
Okay, I'm going to go to drive.
Nothing's going to pop off here. It's shifting the way it's supposed to.
I'm going to go into drive.
Yep. Okay, looks good.
I'm going to go back to neutral.
Yep. Yep.
I'm going to go back into reverse.
Yep. Yeah, okay, everything's working the way it's supposed to. So cool.
Okay.
Just put it in neutral again,
It's in neutral right now.
because there's no park in there.
Kind of looks like a Mustang dash in here. I wonder who copied who.
Throttle linkage.
Move that again.
It's a throttle linkage. Look how long that is. It goes all the way up the front of the car.
I can't really see, it's too dark.
There was a little nylon bushing that was laying on the floor after we did this last time. We pulled the engine out, and I looked at it and went, oh, I wonder what that's for. Now I know what it's for. I kept it. I put it aside. Now I just got to remember where I put it.
Where did I put it aside?
I think it's in there. There's a little catch-all box. It's got all the nuts and
That
bolts.
blue.
Yeah,
tote?
that little blue.
Oh, so hopefully you can find. You need it now?
Yeah. Well, no, technically no. I can hook this up anytime. But the one that goes from up here to the top, we can put in now to the engine.
But you don't need that bushing for that.
Not right now. But
Okay.
if I find it, I know. So I guess now we can put the new gasket on this pan, and then bolt this up, and then that's it for inside the transmission.
What's going on here?
That's the oil pressure line.
Oh, okay.
And this one here, this braided line, this is a sensor that is, it's a temperature gauge. These things didn't come with a gauge, they came with an idiot light. So, but I like having gauges, so I got an aftermarket gauge. I fitted in the dash there. Took the there is a spot for it where for that that Spider dash. It's because the Spider has is a turbo, and it shows a boost gauge. But since I don't have a turbo in here, there's a spot for an extra gauge. So that's where my temperature gauge is. But I bought a temperature gauge from a Volkswagen. There's some company that still makes them. So it just this wire comes back with this eyelet. You can mount it under a spark plug, or under here on the head somewhere. As long as it's one of the hottest parts of because it's cylinder head temperature you're trying to measure. So I ran this all back through the tunnel where it's supposed to be before I had it all zip tied down here, and it wasn't really the right way to do it. But now that I had access to all this, all tucked in and behind, up and over, so it's nice and neatly tucked in. So we're going to actually hook this up more gooder than we had it before.
All right.
Okay. Just leave all that stuff in there. Be fine.
Ken, we didn't see that.
There's going to be people on our watching our videos going, you shouldn't put our TV.
On
The
your
gasket's going to be good enough. If it works, is it a dumb idea? No.
Yeah, it's because we're not following the rules.
However, the other thing you got to realize, this is almost a 60-year-old car. So, sure, a gasket is supposed to be it, but that's if everything is nicely engineered and flat and straight and true. But this thing's not. And what's it going to hurt? So all the anti-RTVers, I'm ready. I'm ready for you. Bring it. Okay, pan going back in.
Did you clean that?
Yep,
You liar.
I did.
You did not.
First thing I did when I was under here. It's super clean anyway. All I did was wipe it off.
No, the bottom flange of the transmission
yeah.
housing.
Yeah, there's nothing stuck to it. It's from the last time I did this.
Uh-huh. When it leaks,
No, it's clean.
we'll have to do a video fixing a pan gasket.
Fixing the pan gasket from the last
Because
time.
the dumbass didn't do it right.
And I lied about not cleaning it.
You're lying like a rat. You just kicked all of your O-rings.
So all my O-rings
everywhere.
That's par.
That's par for the course in there.
They were all gonna eventually end up in one jumbled box anyway.
These gloves off for this. Almost should have gone on first then. No, it's okay. Because it'll rotate up. You get the clip on it? I am not a fan of those things. Yeah, that's all that's holding that thing on. Like if that comes off. I've had them come off on old cars before. Throttle linkages, whatever. There you go. So that's the throttle. Hooked up. That thing needs to go on, which we don't know how long that's going to last. I've got a big hose clamp for it. So that'll go there, and it's not interfering with anything that I can see.
Yeah,
That's going to rub a hole in it.
I would change that.
Well, I can do that later. I can reach that. So,
Your valve cover gasket bolts are all tight?
yeah, I'm expecting that I have to do more valve adjustments, so I didn't go crazy with those. And these need to be adjusted up into place, but I think we can start this car like now.
We'll do a check with. Are we missing something from the bottom here? You've got is that your torsion leaf?
I don't need that to start it.
No, but you want to put it in.
Yeah, but there's some work I want to do to that thing first, so we're okay. Dipstick for the differential, but I gotta find that nut. That compression nut, the one in it. This line is my sensor wire for the Volkswagen dash-mounted temperature gauge that I have.
Not a little close to the manifold. It's gonna melt your plastic, dude.
What plastic?
The plastic on your little
That little grommet?
pilot grommet.
I don't care about that.
Isn't that?
No, it's still gonna crimp.
What about if you put it out here? One of these?
No, it's gotta be. That's not the right thread either.
It's gonna work. Well, I guess you'll find out. How did you run your other one for a significant amount of time and not have a problem?
Yeah, I ran my other one off of it, from underneath the spark plug. But that's a real pain because you sort of ruin this thing. If you have to take your spark plug even out once, it sort of twists this thing and ruins it. Once this is in, it's in.
That's what she said.
We'll try this bolt. Now, ignore these oil drips coming off of here because I was setting the valves, so there was oil spraying all over the goddamn place.
Yes, no comments. I don't think anybody watches these anyway. Oh, we get a few. Is this the idiot light sensor here?
Yes. That's the engine temperature idiot light sensor right there.
And this is the
other one,
digital,
because the heads are
digital. Having a hard time there?
Yep.
Want me to do it?
It's just that the pellet wants to turn with it.
Oh, I should drill it out.
Now, experienced Corvair engine people out there that are watching this, feel free to rip us a new one. No, for doing it this way.
Tell us what we did wrong.
I know what I did wrong, but feel free. I'd be shamed. I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Do you remember that those dropped out when you dropped the bolts? So obviously you do not remember where they came from.
Put that.
You're running into those nuts on the back of the box. I think it has to go the other way, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Unless those nuts that are on the back of the plate there go in the center of the opening when you
Go
slip
in
them
there?
in. It's time to consult Google.
Yeah.
You want to consult the Googles?
Well, we know the tell here. Just take this bolt out.
Fuck the Googles. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Alexa. How do we fix it line with the shims in the back of a Corvair?
Explain that to Siri. She tries to figure out what you're asking her for.
She said, no. Alexa goes, you are a fucking dumbass because you don't know. And you took it apart.
Those shims should not have been taken out when you take out the engine. They should have been left in place. You fucked
How
up.
do you take them and leave them in place?
They got to go that way.
That's what I was saying.
Yep. Yeah.
The other bolts are in the way, right?
Yep. That's okay.
I'm trying to get a shot here, but it's difficult. This camera, the view shot is different. Like where you hold the camera to get your view. Sure about that?
Yeah. They go right like that. They can't go.
Wouldn't you want to do it the other way so that your like hooks are hanging on the bolt and those can drop out possibly? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't want them to drop out. You want the hooks to the closed end on the top instead of the bottom.
Okay, we'll switch it.
You know what I mean?
We'll try it the 10th time now.
Yeah, like this, like that.
Oh! Oh, that's way better. I like that.
Nice.
Now that top bolt feels like it's cross-threading a little bit. Back that up.
You need me to lift the front?
No, I got it.
Actually, it looks like you can wiggle that around pretty decently.
I think I got it. 10th time's a charm.
You'll have to excuse my friend.
He's a little
slow. Those shims go in that way.
That makes way more sense.
Well, that's what I was trying to say earlier when I was talking about the way it was hitting the nuts. But I was explaining it poorly, so.
Okay, so I'm not going to crank these down until we get the other side on.
Well, duh. That's some YouTube noobs, eh?
Do you remember when that happened when we were driving across the country? What's your head?
No, I do not remember that, Phil. I was not even 2 years old.
The trailer flipped over and all our stuff went all over the place. We were
I
driving
remember
from
the story, but I don't remember it
from
happening.
Vancouver to Nova Scotia in a 1962 Chevy panel truck with 3 kids and the trailer with all our shit.
No seats in the back.
No seats.
I remember sitting in the back with us having kicking fights in the back of the truck. You remember that?
Yeah. Well, it was the 70s. You didn't have to have
You have to do
you
anything.
didn't have to have seat belts or kids seats
No.
or any of that shit.
It didn't help that our parents were hippies.
It made us the people we are today.
Oh yeah, fabulous.
People that were safety, that had everything bubble wrapped and safety first, the safety brigade people, those people would not be doing what we're doing now. They would take it to a mechanic. Let's go down to the local shop and get our engine fixed.
Let's get an expert to do it.
Yes.
How the heck do you do that?
Yeah, the tires can't be on. There they go, I guess. Is there not a bushing that goes between the
They go on the
bottom of the control arm, or is it metal to metal on the as it meets up there? What's going on there? There's a rubber bushing here. I guess that's it there for that. This has to go through the hole. Right here. What? Right here. There's a rubber piece. Right there. On both sides.
This thing isn't as precise as you think it is. It's like these things, which are, they're all fucked up. This is the one that I made. This is the original one.
Okay.
And they just go through with these fucking pencil nuts on them. So, they don't, it's not really that. And these, look how loose they are. They don't do much.
Just for lateral movement, I guess.
So we're gonna do this. Yeah, there's not anything on the top.
Do that again.
So this is gonna go up in there.
So imagine the outer wings of this tighten up once you lower the car on the ground, kind of thing.
Yeah. Whenever you jack these cars up, the wheels like tip in.
Yeah, I know. I saw that.
Another note on that later. Another bolt on that later. And that goes in there. This is the one that I made out of a hockey puck.
I guess you can change those anytime, eh?
Yeah, they're right there. And then that castle nut goes on. Supposed to be a cotter pin in it.
Sounds to me like someone's got a case of the Sposdas.
You'll be fine.
I'll take those out later. I wonder if I'm going to see if I can order these. 'Cause I should do all the bushings and
rear suspension back here. It's one of those things, right? Like once you get started on it, it's like never ends.
Oh, it'll end. There's actually not that much to building one of these cars.
So they don't even get tightened all the way to the end. They just kind of float.
Yeah. All it does is it stops the wheels from folding in.
Is that
I need another bolt in this side.
bolt spinning, I think?
Yeah, I'll sort that out in a
Are
bit.
you missing a bolt for them?
Yeah.
I gotta switch cameras in a second. This one's gonna die. You believe that? Dying already? Let's see. I think you can get upgraded bolts for that, or batteries for that. Is that the right one?
Sure.
Well, we don't bottom it out.
Yeah, I need a shorter one.